You like dogs?
Oh yeah.
You do. This is Riley. He'd like to say hi.
Oh,
if you're
Riley.
Okay. Yes.
You're a people person,
Yeah.
huh?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, you like to say hello.
Yes.
He's fit too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Have a good hike, man.
Yeah, you do.
Thanks.
Dog therapy on the trail?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. He's doing great. Yep. You ready, Riley? Hold up. You're getting tangled here, Riley. Come on, buddy. There we go, Riley. You ready? Okay. All right. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. So today is Thursday, May 23rd, and it's day 21 of our AT hike, starting from Springer Mountain. Riley and I are doing well today so far. I think it's still somewhat early in the morning. Haven't checked the time. Feel like when I check the time, it kind of just influences my mental state somewhat, and I kind of prefer to keep my mental state to be a clean slate for as long as possible, and just enjoy the hiking without worrying about the destination until later in the day. So we had a good night last night. I closed out the video by saying there was some thunder, and I was worried that I was gonna thunderstorm, and it did start raining. We were actually very lucky that we got to our campsite and got the tent set up and got inside the tent before it started raining, so we were completely dry. The only thing that got wet was the tent, and it did start raining pretty hard actually, but it didn't last too long. So I would say probably by midnight I think it was pretty much over, and then the bulk of the night it was quiet. So it was just the initial stretch after we got into the tent for an hour or two that it was raining, and so we were just very fortunate to be in shelter and not have to get rained on directly. And so far today, the trail's been very pleasant. It's just like a lot of little kind of ins and outs. Like the mountain will curve, ins and outs in the sideways direction, not up and down direction. So as the mountain curves in, the trail often crosses some type of stream crossing, and then trail weaves out again, and then it weaves in again, and you get to another water source. There's just lots of water sources that we've passed. But the trail, the elevation has stayed pretty much level, so we haven't had to do any significant uphills or downhills. So that actually makes the walking much easier, on me at least. I was getting very tired in the morning yesterday because we had to do so many uphills, and it was very tiring for my legs, and my legs were already very tired, so I was getting tired and frustrated as a result of that. But since late yesterday and into today, the elevation has stayed more or less constant, which has made the walking much easier, and so I've been able to keep pace with Riley much better. So it seems like we should be able to get to Hot Springs today, which was my goal from a few days ago, to get to Hot Springs by the end of the day on Thursday. Riley, hold up, buddy. Okay, okay, good boy, Riley. Riley's getting a drink of water. You did that very well, Riley. Thank you for not pulling me down. So, just wanted to give the little update on today. Day's going well so far. We had, at the start of the day, we had a little over 16 miles to get to Hot Springs, so we're making good progress. Still got a full day ahead of us, pretty much. But definitely should be able to get to Hot Springs the way the day's going so far. And we'll just see what time we get there. So, things I'm looking forward to do when we get to Hot Springs, we're probably going to stay at the Laughing Heart hostel. Not at Elmer's Sunnybank Inn would be awesome to stay at, but he doesn't allow pets there, so I don't think that's an option for us. And the Laughing Heart is very popular among hikers. I haven't heard any bad things about it. Haven't stayed there previously myself, but it's like the first hostel that you see when you arrive in Hot Springs. And I believe they allow tenting for a very reasonable price, and I'll also be interested to see what they charge for an indoor room. That could be quite nice as well. But anyway, one of the main things I'm looking forward to when we get to Hot Springs is going to the outfitter store and seeing if they have either a 15-liter or a 20-liter Ursack bag so that I can swap it out for my bear canister. I'm thinking if they have either of those size bags and I'm able to swap it out for my bear canister, I'm thinking that will be a significant improvement for going forward on the hike. Number one, it will cut off a couple pounds of weight, maybe a little less than a couple pounds, but close to a couple pounds. But beyond that, I think it'll just be a lot more comfortable to carry in my pack. Today, actually, I've actually figured out a pretty decent system for making the bear canister more tolerable in my pack. I have a foam pad that I put underneath on the bottom side of the canister, and then I have my foam pillow, which I put a little bit above that, so it keeps the hard side of the bear canister away from where my back is, where my back connects to the pack. So it's actually working pretty well today, but it's a lot of work to do that every day, to just get the canister in the pack, get the foam pad set up. And sometimes I'm not able to do it as well as I did today, and when that happens, then the pack is just really uncomfortable to wear. So at the very least, having the Ursack bag will save me, I think, just a lot of effort every time I need to unpack my pack and then repack it. It'll just be comfortable instantly when I put the sack in, which will save me a lot of time and energy. Yeah, so that's one thing. And then I'm also thinking that I might send or mail home my puffy jacket. I was able to sleep last night without it, and I was not cold at all. So I think, and we're just getting further into the summer, so I think I'm going to be able to do without the puffy jacket. And that'll be more weight savings. So just between those two things, I should be able to save a good amount of weight on the pack and increase my comfort level. And I'm optimistic that that will translate into more pleasurable hiking days for myself. And if I'm happier, then hopefully Riley will be happier as well. And then of course the other thing that I'm looking forward to in Hot Springs is getting to try out the skillet breakfast. And Riley is just really pulling, so I'm gonna put the camera away and try to get a better control of him here, and I'll check back in later. All right, so Riley is in front, and I just saw a really cool critter on the ground here. They show up every once in a while. It's that little orange thing, which you can't see very well, but I can zoom in. Whoops. Okay. Just dropped my trekking pole. It's a little orange thing here. It's like a little lizard. It's called a newt. And it's looking right up at the camera. They're super cool. They usually come out after it rains. Super cool. Yeah, so it's just sitting right there in the middle of the trail. Very cool. Hello, Riley. All right. Day's going fine still. I think we just got over the last big climb that we need to get over before Hot Springs. So I think we have just about 10 miles to go, maybe a little over 10 miles, but according to my AWOL AT guide, I believe it is largely downhill from here. Does that make you happy, Riley? I see some broken glass there, looks like. Riley, wait for me. Wait for me. I know you're excited to run downhill, Riley. All right, buddy. Okay, we'll check in later. All right, so Riley and I have been on a descent for quite a while. Lots of switchbacks. Feels good to be going downhill for a change. And I just got to this really awesome cave-like structure to my left, which I'm gonna show right now. It looks super awesome. I don't know. Looks like there's space in there. Seems like it would be perfect for a bear to hibernate in. There's a little AT symbol carved on the wall, on the rock there. That's like the coolest cave-like structure I've seen so far on the trail. Very cool. All right, I'm excited that we're getting to Hot Springs today. Riley's doing great today. All right, check in later. All right, we're still doing fine. We have made it to Garenflow Gap. There's a nice sign here telling us all the information we need to know. Someone left their spectacles, or someone found spectacles and put them up there. Yeah, so Garenflow Gap, elevation 2,500 exactly. Look at the little creepy crawly guy living on the sign. Maintained by Carolina Mountain Club. All right, so Hot Springs is 6.6 miles away. We started with just over 16 miles to go, so we've done almost 10 miles on the day. Mount Katahdin, 1924.7. Ah, Riley. Okay, I'm sure that's not a fully accurate number there, because I'm sure the trail has extended since this sign was built. But Hot Springs should be correct, 6.6, and Deer Park Mountain Shelter, 3.4. All right. So I think we have a little bit of uphill. This is uphill right here. but no significant stretch of uphill. We've done all the significant uphill that we need to do. There might be small stretches of uphill, but the majority of the rest of the hike down to Hot Springs is going to be downhill. All right, Riley. Big accomplishment today. Hot Springs is a big milestone, in my opinion. All right, so we're going to get there. We'll check in later. All right. We've just made it a little ways past Flow Gap, and we got to this little stream crossing. So I decided to take a break and fill up. First of all, drink some water and fill up on water a little bit. Riley's been taking a break. Nobody's here, so I just got my stuff sitting right on the trail. If somebody comes, I can get up and move it. But we're gonna be moving on soon. And I'm just sitting on the little short bridge here. This is me. Hello. And I was just thinking how, yeah, it feels really good to sit down and take a break, especially when you can sit on like a steady surface and really just relax all your muscles. It feels really good to just relax the quads, but also it really feels good to give my shoulders a break. My legs get tired from all the hiking, but my shoulders also get tired from carrying the pack all day. I think those are the two main things. Of course, the feet as well, and my heart in terms of like just being out of breath, that also, but the legs and really the shoulders and the upper back feels really good to give it a break a few times a day. And then I feel much better when I'm ready to continue on. Riley's getting nice and comfortable there. All right, that's all for now. There's Riley. I'm getting my water here off this leaf, and look what I found. Look at those eyes looking up at me. It's like a little lizard that's just living in the stream. All right. I replaced my GoPro battery. So now I have a 90% charge in the battery. And we passed Deer Park, or the sign for Deer Park Mountain Shelter, a little while ago. And from there it was 3.2 miles to Hot Springs. It was a little bit of an uphill, and we're now, I believe, doing the downhill section. I'm like 99% sure. I think it's gonna be all downhill till we get to Hot Springs. Riley's right behind me. I'm keeping him behind me because he's still got tons of energy. And so it helps so he's not tugging on me. I'm feeling good right now. The trail is nice. The temperature today has been significantly cooler than yesterday, but not cold. So it's been very comfortable hiking temperature. And there's been clouds. The sky's been cloudy, which has helped to shelter the sun a bit, or shelter us from the sun. And it's been there's been light sprinkles recently for the past hour or so, which has felt actually pretty good, because even with the cooler temperatures, it's still slightly warm. Riley does this from time to time. He just smells something and he stops on a dime and inspects, and then he's ready to continue on. Yeah, so it's kind of sprinkling right now. I can hear it on the leaves. but we're not getting soaked at all. Like, there's plenty of tree cover to protect us, and it's not even raining that hard. So it's just helping to cool us off a little bit, and the temperatures are warm enough so that we feel, or I feel fine, and I think Riley's fine as well. Definitely feels good getting into hot springs. It's always a nice feeling when you're about to enter a town and you're hiking those last few miles, especially going downhill. You feel like you're walking on air, sort of. Getting ready to indulge in everything that the town has to offer. The thing about hiking, I was thinking recently, it's not a new thought, but I was just thinking about it recently, is that the reason that it makes you so happy, I think, in general it makes you happy. Like, there's many things that cause discomfort and are annoyances, but in general, I think for me it makes me feel happy. And I think one of the main things is that it like lowers your expectations for various things. And so with lowered expectations, so many things that you obtain are easily in excess of those expectations. And so as a result, you're just joyous with the result because almost everything exceeds your expectations. So like 2 days ago when I was at Standing Bear Farm, the owner offered me an exchange of resupply items in exchange for the dog food that I had purchased for Riley, which I wasn't able to carry out. And so the main things that I got from the resupply were canned vegetables and canned beans. I showed it briefly on the video for that day, but I got a little cup of fruit mix in a nice sweet syrup kind of liquid, as well as like a can of diced tomatoes and a can of carrots and a can of corn and 2 cans of chickpeas and a can of baked beans. And I ate everything except for 1 can of chickpeas, which I packed out and I haven't used yet. But everything else I was able to eat there, and by the end of it I was definitely full. But if I wasn't on trail, that kind of food would just be like regular grocery items. It wouldn't be exciting for me. It would just be something that I'm going to use to prepare a meal, and maybe that meal, hopefully the meal would be exciting, but the individual cans wouldn't be all that exciting. But in my circumstance, hiking the trail, I was just really excited to get all those items a couple days ago and be able to eat like every single spoonful I was excited for. I had the fruit cup first because my mouth was craving something sweet, and I was also still thirsty at that point. So I kind of drank the syrup and then ate some of the fruit. But then with each of the other cans, like the tomatoes and the carrots, I actually initially just enjoyed drinking the liquid inside the can, like just drinking the tomato juice and just tasting the taste of tomatoes tasted really good after not having them for several weeks. Just anything, any kind of, I know the vegetables were canned vegetables, so they weren't fresh vegetables, but any type of produce, vegetable flavor or fruit flavor is really a treat for me when I'm hiking. And same thing with the canned carrots. They came in a slightly sweet syrup, so I really enjoyed drinking the liquid inside the can of carrots, and then just indulging in the individual carrot slices, which were nice and moist and full of good carrot flavor, as well as the tomatoes, along with the like I didn't eat each can as a whole one by one. I opened several cans at once and took spoonfuls of from one can at a time, and then kind of mixed the flavors together. And the baked beans, I was really happy with that, because the sauce inside the baked beans was extremely delicious. Just a nice sweet sauce to complement all the other things that I had. And so, yeah, just because of the fact that my expectations were so low as a result of doing all the hiking that I'm doing, it made me feel like I was on top of the world when I was able to indulge in the canned vegetables and the canned beans. And so now getting into hot springs, it's going to be even more of the same, because they have a Dollar General there, and they have a place called Hillbilly Market, which is like a more premium grocery store. And at the hostel, I'll probably stay at the Laughing Heart. I've never been there, but I'm sure I'll find many things that are they usually have hiker boxes at these hostels, and the hiker boxes, they have usually have a food hiker box and also a gear hiker box, and I always enjoy looking through both of them, and seeing what's there. It's there's just so many surprises to be found, and often like people will put like very nice food in the food hiker boxes, so I enjoy seeing what's there. And the idea of the hiker boxes is that any hiker who doesn't need something can put something in, so that it doesn't go to waste, and once it's in there, it's free for the taking for anybody who wants it. Just a system to allow people to get rid of stuff they don't want or don't need, and prevent it from going to waste. And then, of course, the restaurants in town. I'm definitely planning on going to the Smoky Mountain Diner tomorrow for breakfast. Not sure what time I'll arrive there. I think they open actually at 6:30 a.m. So it's nice that basically I'll be able to get there as early as I want. And I'll definitely have something good for dinner tonight, but I'm gonna try my best not to stuff myself too much, so that I can still be hungry for in the morning and really enjoy the skillet breakfast that I've been building up in my mind so much ever since my first hike on the AT back in 2017. In 2018, I also stopped in hot springs, of course, but I was not successful in getting the skillet breakfast. The reason is because I arrived in hot springs. So as I was hiking this very section, actually, I it was a Saturday night when I arrived at Deer Park Mountain Shelter, which is the shelter that I just passed, and it's 3.2 miles from Hot Springs. And it was already, it was probably late on Saturday night, like close to 9 o'clock. So it was too late for me to, I think it was too late at that point for me to actually get a room at Elmer's. And I was planning to take a zero anyway in Hot Springs. So I decided to spend the night, or spend that Saturday night at Deer Park Mountain Shelter, which was free. And then my plan was to hike in the next morning, early in the next morning, and I was hoping to get breakfast at Smoky Mountain Diner the next morning. And then I would take a zero that day, and spend the evening at Elmer's and hopefully enjoy one of his gourmet homemade vegetarian meals for dinner on Sunday night. And then I would plan to hike out on Monday. So that was my plan. But what I didn't realize is that between 2017 and 2018, the Smoky Mountain Diner changed their hours of operation such that they're closed on Sundays. So I hiked in the morning on Sunday, got there in time for breakfast, and I found out that Smoky Mountain Diner was closed. And I was disappointed. But at least I was there. I was able to stay at Elmer's. But unfortunately, he didn't have enough people sign up for dinner that night, so I wasn't able to enjoy or experience his homemade meal that I had enjoyed the previous year. So I remember me and a group of other hikers went to a restaurant called the Spring Creek Tavern for lunch/dinner. And I had I think I ordered a taco salad, and I requested that it be made vegetarian, so they just replaced any meat with more of the beans and other stuff in the salad, and that was very good. And then because I had missed the dinner the night before from Elmer's, I decided to sign up for Elmer's breakfast the next day, which I hadn't been able to experience the previous year. Because I think partly because we were just also stuffed from dinner the night before. So I was able to get breakfast the next morning, which was a Monday morning. He made waffles with I think like a strawberry syrup, and it was very good. But I do remember kind of wishing that he had made some omelets, because I was really craving the fulfillment of eggs and cheese. It really hits the spot for me when I'm on trail. So I enjoyed the waffles, but I was slightly disappointed that he didn't also have omelets to enjoy. Anyway, so I got my fill of the waffles, and then I still went over to Smoky Mountain Diner. Some other hikers that I had met along the way decided not to eat breakfast at Elmer's, even though they were staying at Elmer's, and they had breakfast at Smoky Mountain Diner. And at that point, I was pretty full from eating all the waffles, but I still wanted to just see what the breakfast scene was like there. So I went there and I caught the other guys who were eating breakfast there. There were three guys named Breezy, Kyle, trail named Narnar, and a guy named Mullet Mike. They were having breakfast there, and I sat down with them as they were finishing up breakfast, and I realized at that point that I wasn't going to be able to enjoy the skillet breakfast because it would have been way too much food for me, and I was already full from the first breakfast at Elmer's. But I did order, I think, like a half French toast or something sweet, which was basically just more sweetness on top of the sweetness that I had already had in terms of the waffles at Elmer's. So that was all cool. But that was the reason that I was just explaining the reason that I was not able to get the skillet breakfast in 2018. It was because I got there on a Sunday and they were closed, and then the next morning I decided to eat at Elmer's to fill my appetite instead of the Smoky Mountain Diner. So here we are. I'm back on the trail, 2024 with Riley, and this is the year. I'm getting there on a Friday. I know they're open tomorrow. We're gonna get the skillet breakfast. And with all the build-up that I'm doing in my mind, it only makes sense that I'm gonna be disappointed for some reason. But it's all good. I'm just gonna try to allow myself to be hungry for it by not overeating tonight, and I think I'll enjoy it. Pretty sure I'll enjoy it. And I will definitely get Riley some good food as well. He's doing really awesome. This is his second full day back on trail, and I also feel like my trail legs are coming along actually. Got a tent here, so I will check in as we get closer to Hot Springs. Back on trail here with Riley, and this is so exciting, and we can hear the traffic already. Once you can start hearing the traffic as you're approaching the town, it just raises your excitement level more and more. And through the trees there, it's probably easier for me to see than it is on camera, but it's possible to see the buildings and streets below. The trees are not too dense, so we are getting close. Getting close. And I think Riley knows that we're getting close to some place, so he's excited as well. All right, we're making our way into Hot Springs here. I think we're just about here. Riley, go gentle on me, man. Riley, this way. Riley, this way. Riley, hold up, buddy. Hold up, Riley. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Slow down, Riley. Slow down, Riley. Yep, Hot Springs. Elevation 1326. Very good. We are here. Riley, hold up, buddy. Hold up, Riley. Hold up, Riley. What is this? I wonder if this is for hikers or just something that someone put out here. Yeah. Yeah, just somebody's stuff. Alright, buddy. Alright, lots of people around here, so I'm gonna cut the camera off and we'll check back in once we get settled.